They brought me out into the middle of the desert. My face was beaten, my hands were tied, and every man standing around me already knew how this was supposed to end. Gus was there with Victor and Tyrus. Bolsa was waiting. And then there was Hector Salamanca sitting in his wheelchair with the twins beside him. They forced me onto my knees. Bolsa wanted answers. He wanted to know who ordered the attack on Lalo Salamanca. I already knew what I had to say. I told him I had been working with Alvarez and the Peruvian cartel. I told them they were behind the attack on Lalo's compound. That was the story Gus needed them to believe. If I stuck to the plan, suspicion would stay away from him. But I knew I was going to die anyway. So before that happened, I decided I was done pretending. I looked at the Salamancas and told them exactly how much I hated them. Then I looked straight at Hector. There was something he still didn't know. Years earlier, Hector had tried to take over my father's business. I couldn't let that happen. So I switched his heart medication. Those pills he was taking weren't really his medicine anymore. And when his body finally gave out, that was because of me. I was the reason Hector ended up trapped in that wheelchair. For years, he probably wondered why it happened. Now he finally knew. I could see the anger in his face. But I wasn't finished. I told him something else. He should have died that day. The only reason he survived was because Gus made sure the doctors kept him alive. Hector had spent all those years trapped inside his own body because Gus wanted him that way. Then I made my move. I had hidden a piece of broken glass. I used it to cut myself free. I grabbed Bolsa, took his gun, and held him in front of me. Every weapon around me came up immediately. I knew Mike was somewhere in the distance watching through his rifle, and I knew there was no way I was walking out of that desert, but I wasn't going to let Gus decide how I died. I wasn't going to let Bolsa decide, and I definitely wasn't going to give Hector Salamanca the satisfaction of killing me himself. So I made the only choice they couldn't take away from me. I turned the gun on myself, and I pulled the trigger. By the time Hector was brought closer to my body, it was already over.